Welcome to this presentation on the high R's: research, reasoning, and rhetoric. To begin with, I would like to introduce you to the conceptual framework in which I operate. As educators, we must know our subjects and know how to teach to whichever students we have. Additionally, we must know the moral and ethical implications of the content areas we address. We acknowledge our duty to model Christian character and values. As Christians, we approach education as a calling from God. We know from the Bible that we will be held to a higher standard of accountability as educators. Since we know that we will be held to a higher standard, we are careful to implement a program of study that meets the academic and developmental needs our students have. We also believe that it is our duty to the society we live in as a self-governing people to train each generation to take the reins of leadership from the last. Additionally, all students are unique individuals created in the image of God. As image bearers, their education must steer them toward their Maker and equip them as ambassadors for the kingdom. So, what kind of education do children need? We've all heard of the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. These are the foundational skills that unlock the doors of learning for young children. As students grow into adolescence, their academic needs move beyond the basics. In order to develop higher order thinking and communication skills, students need to acquire the tools of research, reasoning, and rhetoric, the high R's. I am proposing a dedicated curriculum track to teach thinking and communication skills through 3 paths: research, reasoning, and rhetoric. Many students today graduate high school never having taken a logic class. When asked to speak on a topic, they are either terrified or extremely overconfident in their ignorance. They are easily swayed by every woke trend that comes across the latest social media platform, and when confronted with the consequences of their beliefs, they simply ignore inconvenient facts in favor of feel-good gobbledygook. In order to take their place as virtuous and wise leaders of society, students must be taught how to think rather than what to think. They must be equipped to sift through the overload of information to find truth. Students must then be able to apply that truth to their own lives and to the problems facing our world, and articulate that truth in a winsome way. Students who can think critically and develop creative solutions are in high demand in society in general and in the workplace. Many technically skilled people lack the soft skills to do their jobs effectively. Researchers like Ahmed and others writing in 2018 find that developing higher order thinking skills, or HOTS, will enable students to become informed, engaged citizens fit for self-governance. These thinking skills are found at the top half of the revised taxonomy, according to Vittigor writing in 2018. Researchers like Rude, 2016, also stress communication skills as vital for improving civic discourse. Building on a foundation of the 3 R's, the high R's will help students detect bias, research effectively, think logically, communicate articulately, speak confidently, and argue winningly. The high R's is designed for middle school and high school students. It is broken up into 3 paths: research, reason, and rhetoric. Each year of middle school and high school, students will develop their skills in each of these 3 paths. The first path is research. Research requires asking questions and seeking answers, and communicating those answers to others. The second path is reason. Reason requires logical thinking and analytical evaluation. Research has shown that taking an introductory logic course improves students' academic performance. The third path is rhetoric. Rhetoric develops the ability to communicate well in order to persuade others to the truth. Rhetoric is an inventional, interpretive, performative, and productive art. This scope and sequence shows one possible sequence of emphasis for each path during each year of the High R's courses. As students progress through secondary school, they will encounter different topics or skills along the 3 paths and build on skills previously acquired. Teachers will require increasing precision of thought and continued development of skills. Skills from each of the 3 paths will be integrated throughout the course. This is a small sample of some of the most obvious skills that students will acquire participating in a course of the High R's. These skills are transferable throughout the curriculum and in the students' future endeavors. I have assembled some examples of resources you might use to teach these subjects. You'll see pictured resources that I have used over the years and lists of others that I've found recently on the internet. Some research resources I've found include how to read a book, training students to get the most out of their reading, teaching writing structure and style, which teaches young children step by step how to complete library research, and of course a style guide. Additional resources I found include How to Write a Research Report by Mary Lou, written for 6th to 8th graders, and A Guided Inquiry Approach to High School Research, Illustrated Edition by Randall K. Schmidt. When teaching reasoning skills, the fallacy detective is excellent for younger students, and there's an accompanying video set called Logic in 100 Minutes. You'll also want to include plenty of logic puzzles like the one we see here, Ken Ken, and 536 puzzles and curious problems. There are also many formal logic curriculums you can employ with your students. I've used introductory logic and intermediate logic with my junior high school age students, and I've also used traditional logic 1 and 2 with my high school students. Material logic is also available in that same series. Some resources available for rhetoric students include The Lost Tools of Writing, Teaching the Persuasive Essay, Beginning Public Speaking, and many volumes with specific speeches or poems for students to memorize, study, and perform themselves. Other rhetoric resources include An Introduction to Policy Debate by Christy Shipe, Aristotle's classic The Art of Rhetoric, and The Office of Assertion by Scott Kreider. Additional resources include Linguistic Development Through Poetry Memorization by Andrew Pudewa and Speech Boot Camp, also by Andrew Pudewa and others. At this point, you may be asking yourself how you can possibly implement this program at your school. I would like to present a few options. The most reliable way to ensure that all students receive specific instruction over a long period of time is to require all students to take the High R's class each year from 7th to 12th grade. This will require hiring 1 or more teachers for these classes. I understand that not every school has the budget, personnel, or space to expand the curriculum in this way. However, you still have options. Many middle schools already use a double class period to teach language arts. A scaled-down version of this curriculum could be implemented within the middle school language arts program. In high school, separate elective courses in research and rhetoric-based projects could be offered, like journalism, entrepreneurship, mock trial, speech and debate, as well as dedicated logic courses. Option 3 is what most schools try to do to some degree. The desired skills are supposed to be taught through the core curriculum. If you are relying on this option, you will need to stress to teaching faculty the need for collaboration on their individual curriculum tracks to ensure that the skills are taught in progression before students graduate high school. My advice is to hold regular workday sessions dedicated to implementing the skills delineated in the high R's. After-school clubs or extracurricular activities is a fourth option. If clubs are dedicated to fun projects or competition, students may be enthusiastic about participating. Some schools even save the last part of their school day specifically for these types of activities. One caveat to this approach is, if it is going to be after the school day, participation may not be ideal, and many students will miss out on acquiring these skills, especially those who are naturally less motivated. However you are able to make this work for your school, students who have had concentrated and prolonged practice in the high R's will be better equipped to lead with confidence, integrity, and proficiency. Liberty University School of Education uses the acronym SCRIP as a reminder of the dispositions that suit one who educates others. S is for social responsibility. As educators, we have a social responsibility to meet the students' academic needs through developmentally appropriate instruction. C is for commitment. We are committed to setting high standards for ourselves and our students. R is for reflective practice. As we reflect on the type of curriculum we offer, we need to be sure that we are equipping the next generation to take the reins of leadership. I is for integrity. We can do these things with integrity when we have delineated the skills that students need to be successful in life. And finally, P is for professionalism. Our professionalism will be reflected in the quality of the instruction we offer our students. It's time to build on the 3 R's with the high R's.